Good morning, everyone. Let's bow our heads for a word of prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We ask you to look over this board and give us the guidance to make decisions that we need to for betterment of Union County. We say an extra blessing for this weekend, Lord, and ask that everybody remembers the true meaning of Memorial Day. Watch over us, guide us, and direct us. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lance, would you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Harville.
Here.
Mr. Pitts.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Bierstadt.
Here.
Commissioner Gould.
Having a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. First item, minutes from our regular meeting on May the 10th. Everybody had a chance to look at those. Any additions or deletions?
Make a motion approved.
I second.
Mr. Harville.
Yes.
Mr. Pitts.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
Yes. Public comments? Anyone? No public. Committee reports.
Well, Max, we had our Southern Five meeting the other day. And there's a few things going on. First of all, I should say our next meeting down there will be June 11th at 5:30. It's open for the public. And then right now we're in the middle of our audit, our annual audit down there, and they ought to be done for our next meeting so we can approve them down there for our annual audit. And there will be no meeting scheduled for July, just tell people, because they said that this, a lot of them are taking vacations. And also there was one grant that was announced for DECO Rebuild Downtowns and Main Street grant. It's a 25% match. And I didn't know if any of our municipalities would be interested in anything like that, but they do new sidewalks and lighting for the communities around here. If it's anything anybody wants to do, you know. Stephanie Cox and I was talking about, she's gonna bring that up at the chamber meeting. So, anyway, that's basically all I have.
All right, thank you.
So animal control, new buildings coming along, great, doing well. We are overpopulated with dogs, which imagine puppies this time of season. But you know, the community has really stepped up with the donations, you know, both with dog food and monetary needs. I mean, they're doing a good job. Appreciate everything that everybody's doing for that out there. I mean, it's helping a lot. And please, people, get your pets spayed and neutered, because it would sure help this situation out.
Yeah, it's really looking good. I think
Yeah, it's-
probably the trusses will be going on next week.
Well, that's what they said it's gonna do Tuesday, depending on weather.
Looking good.
Yep, walls are up.
Max, we had a Southern Seven meeting last night down at the college. Everything was good. We had their annual audit was going on as well. Everything was right in line with what they had. Little update, looks like on our early Head Start and regular Head Start for the area. Looks like they're about 85% full for early Head Start and about 95% full for regular Head Start. We have several kids on the list to get in to fulfill positions. It's just getting teachers still. They've, since I think our last meeting, they've done, to change the pay structure, the salary structure. That has helped. They've picked up a handful more of teachers and aides, but they're still not quite there, but they're getting better. But we're ahead of the ball. We're ahead of the plan of where they were last year at this time of getting things filled up. Ours here in Jonesboro on Head Start, we've got enrollment goal of 34, and we have 29 kids eligible right now, and they've got about 4 more on a waiting list to get in. So I feel like our area here on the Head Start's going to be good, and our early Head Start for the county is open enrollment goal is 12, and we've got 10 right now with nobody on a waiting list, but we're not too far off that. But and then they also said on attendance was in the last couple of months all running above 85%. So that was pretty good with what we've had going on. They've got several grants going. It looks like, to be honest with you, the state's not having any issues sending money down for grants for them. There was some that they got money they didn't have to write a grant for, they'd had in the past, and they were able to get money, and they're like, we don't have to write anything for this? They said, nope, you've been doing it, we've got it here, so we're gonna give it to you. And so things seem to be going fairly good. We're on budget as well down there, as long as no catastrophe happens. You know, everything, the money's always tight with everything we have down there, but it seems to be going good for our area.
Good deal. Sounds positive. Anything else? Moving on to building permits.
You have 2 of them. The first one is parcel number 0515032225C. It's on Mockingbird and Dog Walk Road in Anna for Brenda Whitaker. It's a new home, previously subdivided, no floodplain, recommended for approval. And the second one is parcel number 0524038814 and 0524038824A, also on Dog Walk Road, for a Jeremy and Janet Wiley. It's a portable shed, no subdivision, no floodplain, recommended for approval.
Any questions? Need a motion to approve the building permits?
I make a motion.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Mr. Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Bierstadt?
Yes.
Old business, ordinance amending, restating and codifying the hotel operator's occupation tax. We're finally,
No, that's the actual ordinance, so we'll still need to table it, but down lower you have the intergovernmental agreements with all the municipalities. So that's completed. Now I have to get the intergovernmental agreements with the entities that are gonna get the money automatically. So that should be quick, because obviously I think they'll sign.
Yeah.
And then, so the next meeting, you would be able to change the ordinance.
all right, very good. Very good. So we'll continue to table that till that's finished. We're about there finally. Very good. New business, approved payment of bills. Everybody had a chance to look at the bill list. Any questions?
I make a motion to pay bills.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Mr. Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt?
Yes.
All right, item B, University of Illinois Extension Budget Agreement. Jody, you're up.
Well, first, thank you for getting me early on the agenda. I really do appreciate that.
We just want to get you in and out.
Get me in and out, that's right, that's right. So, I've given you our annual report. I love to share this and tell the story of the accomplishments that we've done across the 5 counties. I don't want to take up time, so what I would invite you to do, thank you. What I would invite you to do is to review it and reach out to me. I'd love to sit down and talk about more extensively about the things that we've got going on. What I can share right now with what's going on is we're in the process of moving the office here in Anna. From where we're located to around the corner of where the Dodd insurance used to be. We're in the process of finalizing that lease. They're in construction right now, remodeling it for us. We're gonna have 11 offices. I'm gonna have 10 staff in there. We're gonna have the annex building as well that we're gonna have for community space. You're gonna see a big 4-H clover out there. So we're gonna have a lot more visibility in the community than what we've had. So really, really excited about that. And you represent Union County, so you're interested in what Union County work that we're doing. So we've hired 2 new staff in the last 3 months. One's a SNAP Ed educator, a lady who just graduated from Western Illinois University, originally from Nigeria. I'll tell you something you don't already know, but I searched for 6 weeks to find housing for her. All 5 counties could not find until talked to Rob in here in Anna, and he had a duplex that he had just completed, so I snatched it and talked to him 2 hours later, and he told me, he said, Jody, he said, I had 2 phone calls after you said you would take it. And my point being, housing is a huge, huge issue across our area. So that's something that our team is definitely looking at how we can help address that issue, because it's, that goes right along with our population. We can't grow if people don't have places for affordable housing to come and live. So definitely going to be an issue. So that's one job that we brought, and she's living here in Anna. She's going to be housed at the new office. So that's going to be a local resource, but 5 county responsibility. The second one is another lady in our nutrition program who's moving to Anna, and she's going to be doing the Union County, what we call SNAP education, community work. So working with the audiences like at Head Start and so forth. Really excited. We've had that vacancy for about 9 months, and both ladies, tremendous amount of passion for the work that they're doing and bringing a lot of excitement. And from my standpoint, they're going to fit into my team that are already a bunch of rock stars. I mean, they do incredible work. The next 3 months, you're going to see some advertisements in the next 30 days. I've got 3 more professional positions. You've heard about the Illinois Governor's Initiative for grocery stores. Because of the work that we did with the Caro grocery store, we've got a really good relationship with Western Illinois University. Western received some grant funds for DCEO to do grocery store work. They invited us to come along as technical advisors, and we're also doing some survey work. So our area, we're capturing $200,000 to work on that. We worked with Southern Illinois Community Foundation, wrote for another grant through USDA. We got $1 million. University of Illinois Extension, we're going to take $750,000 of that. So I'm going to be able to hire 3 more professional positions that are going to be for a minimum of 3 years. There's a phase 1 and phase 2. So we captured phase 1. I'm confident that they're going to do the work that we're going to be able to capture phase 2. So once again, love to sit down and eat lunch with you sometime and tell you more about this. I don't want to take. Point being, we're creating jobs that are going to have livable wages, and that's important. You know, we're not talking about just $15 an hour jobs. We're talking about living wage jobs that's going to help address issues in our communities. So what's that costing you? That's why I'm here today. What I'm asking for is just, let's maintain our levy. I'm a taxpayer myself. I can show you in Johnson County, our property taxes are going up, and nobody likes that. So as a government agency, what I can control is my ask of the taxpayers. So what I ask is, let's maintain the 40,000 levy. Continue to help like you have been. You've committed, and Angie helped collect that payment for us. We get it very timely, like every December, boom, it's checks in the mail. And she'll call us and say, hey, it's coming. So I really do appreciate working with Angie. I mean, she's a great representation of Union County. So that's my ask. I'll entertain any questions anybody has.
I was excited today, because I met with you and your boss out there, and the new location that's gonna be, especially that annex part, to get people hopefully to stop by and see what's going on.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna be great.
And I gotta give a shout out to your chairman, because I called him on the phone and it wasn't, well, I'll get back to you in a couple of weeks. It was nearly that day. He come out, gave us his time, was able to, like he said, meet my boss, made me look good in front of my boss, because to have a commissioner like that is, usually those guys, they only see commissioners when there's bad things are happening. So, yeah, I really do appreciate that, Commissioner Will.
I would like to say I commend you for keeping the amount of status quo. That's really a good thing. I mean, it's an odd thing that he said.
Right, exactly,
It is.
exactly.
Well, I was looking through your brochure, and I don't know, I'm kind of interested in all of it, but there was one section in here on page, let me see, page 4. Disaster preparedness.
Yeah, so we don't have well, we do have a curriculum called My Preparedness Initiative. We're one of the few units, and it's because of me personally. I don't want to put myself out there on the stage, but this is one of those, you brought it up, the My PI. I have a real strong passion for disaster preparedness. So that we're in the earthquake zone. I mean, it's a matter of when the earthquake, and I'm not fear mongering, it's a fact. And the thing with disaster preparedness, I love to tell the story, when you prepare for the earthquake, we're prepared for a tornado, we're prepared for flooding, we're prepared for whatever disaster, because they're going to come. So, we do programming with disaster preparedness. I've had success with Vienna. Their CNA programs work collaboratively with us. I've got a girl who's studying nursing right now down at Shawnee College. I've got her as my coordinator for the program. So if you see an opportunity for us to do something here in Union County, I would welcome that. So many of our programs is contingent on volunteer participation and collaboration. So for us to just come in and do it as a set program, we can't do, because we don't have, it sounds like I'm gonna have a lot of people, but everybody has their lanes that they're running. And I like to collaborate anyway. So like, if we could do something with the ambulance service, and Dana Pearson's a longtime family friend, if we could work with EMA, we're involved with SPARC. Everybody knows Shawnee Preparedness and Response Coalition. So we're sponsors for their annual conference. But
There is there a National Preparedness Day?
Yeah. So September is Preparedness a month. February is Earthquake Preparedness Month. So
A little bit more specific.
yeah. So there's two opportunities that we could actually definitely play on that.
Well, I think it's a good program. I do have one question though. It says for natural disasters. What about unnatural disasters? Would this still apply with that?
So when I should say, our targeted audience is teenagers, mostly 14 to 18-year-old high school kids. And what it is, it's the CERT program, Community Emergency Response Team program that FEMA puts out. And then we craft it to be specifically for the youth. So in that curriculum, it talks about natural disasters, human disasters, like maybe terrorism, and then man-made, that would be man-made, and then you have like chemical.
Train derailment.
Exactly. So yeah, there's 3 different types of disasters that are covered.
Okay.
So, but,
I noticed on there there wasn't any students from Union County.
yeah, and that's because, you know, I play ball with who I can play ball with, and so, unfortunately, we haven't had the connections in Union, and I'll say yet, because I'm always looking forward.
With something to build on.
Absolutely. So, but I appreciate you bringing it up and that interest, because, you know, when people are recovered, when people are prepared, then it makes all of our jobs easier.
It does. Thank you.
Anybody else, any questions? Okay, very good. I'll make a motion that, for the period 12 months, beginning July 1st, 2024, and ending June 30th, 2025, we'll carry on our cooperative work with the university in the amount of $40,000 as we have in the past. I'll second that.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
Yes.
Yeah, I get a signature.
Have to.
And this helps me with my budget. So, and to your comment too about the Main Street, that program, Susan Oldham, who's our regional community economic development educator, has actually helped, I won't say write that grant, but provides technical assistance. So, and Susan works a lot with the women in business here in Union County and the chamber. So they should know that she's a definite resource. So, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Don't be strangers. All right.
Thanks.
We'll probably do a ribbon cutting sometime in August. So look for an invitation and look forward to seeing you, if not before.
Good seeing you,
Thanks.
Joe.
Bye.
Thanks, Jody. Okay, next item, intergovernmental agreement by and between County of Union, Illinois, the City of Anna, Village of Allo Pass, Village of Cobden, Village of Dongola regarding hotel operators occupancy tax. Angie had been, this was part of the process, getting each of the communities that have entities that we collect this tax on to agree on this, so we're through that. We need to approve this, then the next step will be the entities like Ball Knob, Chamber and so forth to approve everything, and then we'll be done with this. Anybody got any questions on it? Okay.
I make a motion to accept the agreement.
Okay.
Second.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt.
Yes.
Next item, resolution appointing commissioner of the Lick Creek Water District. We received a letter from them, recommending that Aaron Hall be reappointed to another term, due to the resignation of Ron Spurlock. Board is also recommending Bruce Newman be appointed. Anybody have any questions on that? Aaron Hall's term will expire on May 7th, 2029. Bruce Newman for the remainder of the term expiring on May 4th, 2026.
Make a motion to accept.
Accepted.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Mr. Pitts?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Bierstadt?
Yes.
Next item, intergovernmental agreement by and among the city of Jonesboro relating to the funding of Union County Animal Control Program. This has been a long time coming. As you know, they dropped out of our program for, what, a little over a year?
Last year and then part of this year, yes.
Part of this year. And for whatever reason, don't care, they have agreed to get back in the program, pay their part to help take care of animal control in the city of Jonesboro. So that's a good thing. I make a motion, we approve the intergovernmental agreement by and among the city of Jonesboro relating to the funding of Union County Animal Control Program.
I'll second that.
Mr. Harville?
Yes.
Mr. Pitts?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Bierstadt?
Yes.
Okay, next up, it's that time of year. Acceptance of FY 2023 Union County audit. It's all yours.
All right.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having me again this year. Appreciate the opportunity to work with the county again. I'd like to thank Angie and Carrie and all the rest of the staff for all their help during the audit process. Got 3 reports here today with you, and I'll just kind of briefly do a high-level summary of each of them. First one being the annual financial report, the county audit report. Included in here is our independent auditor's report, which is an unmodified opinion, which is a clean opinion. So we believe that the financial information presented in this short report is fairly presented based on our audit procedures. We also do what we call a yellow book audit. It's a compliance audit in accordance with government auditing standards. If you have more than $300,000 in federal and state revenue, we have to do this. There were no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies noted or compliance issues that we noted with respect to that audit. Just kind of some high-level highlights here. The page 9 of the audit report is the statement of activities. This just kind of shows all the activities of the countywide in total, and on there is a couple of columns. The primary government, which is all of your governmental activities, and there's also the ETSB, which is a component unit. On page 9 at the bottom, third line from the bottom, just a change in that position, whether your financial position improved or deteriorated this year compared to last year. The governmental activities in total were up almost $2.4 million, so positive improvement in your financial position over the prior year. Same with the ETSB, up almost $241,000. So always a good sign, positive trend. Included in here are the government-wide financial statements, all the fund financial statements. We do have some individual funds that are reported as major funds. They meet a specific criteria, and so they're listed separately. We give our opinion on each of those. We also have non-major funds, which are combined together, and we give our opinion on those together. All that detailed information is in here. Couple of just other highlights. One of the things, the IMRF, your pension liability, last year you had a net pension asset on hand at IMRF, meaning that you had more assets than your actuarial accrued liability. And then that changed this year, primarily because of market conditions. So the information in here is as of December. IMRF's on the calendar year. So it's kind of the year behind. So it's December of '22, which was kind of a down year in the market conditions. So I assume that your December 31st, '23 IMRF information will kind of go back up because the market's improved again. So you went from in FY '22, you went from a net pension asset at IMRF in the 3 plans to a net pension liability in 2 of those plans. I think the elected officials plan may still have a net pension asset at 22, but so it's always dependent on market conditions. Obviously, where you sit is how much they charge you in terms of your percentage of payroll, but you're making all those payments. So that's just kind of a quick, brief synopsis of these. I'd be happy to answer. There's budget versus actual information included in here as well. The other items, we also have the circuit clerk's report examination, which is required by the Administrative Office of Courts. And so we completed that compliance examination. We tested all the compliance requirements and no issues noted. Everything, again, is fairly presented in those financial statements. And then the last item that I have here today is the what we call the board packet, the auditor's communication with the board. There's some required communications included in here. We talk about some of the estimates that we have to evaluate during our audit process with respect to assumptions for your net pension liability, your other post-employment benefit liability, all those types of things. No difficulties encountered during the audit process. We did have some audit adjustments. There were, I think, 13 audit adjustments this year compared to about 12 last year. Most of these audit adjustments relate to long-term debt and fixed assets, which are not something that's normally reported in your regular fund financial statements. It's kind of at the end of the year, there's a process to accumulate it for financial reporting purposes. So most of these adjustments relate to those items. We do have a few items, a couple of pages in here of adjustments that we did not make, but we're required to disclose those to you. So there's some pages in there about that. They fell below the dollar threshold that we consider to be material, so we just passed on those adjustments, but we do disclose those. And then the last item in here is our management letter. And we didn't have, as I mentioned, we didn't have any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies in internal controls, but we did have some advisory comments. I think last year you had 6. Most of those were repeated. They're on page 15 of that report. A couple relate to policy issues, some unpaid property, old checks that need to be turned over, hotel motel tax audits, some late fee, hotel motel tax late fee. And then there were a couple of items that we identified that were new this year regarding, we noted some competitive bids that were not obtained for some purchases over your $30,000 policy threshold. And so, again, just make sure that all those things are following the policy. Noted some invoices that didn't have some documented written approvals from the department heads or the county administrator or both. So just obviously things to kind of keep in mind whenever you're implementing those procedures. I think we also identified some sheriff bond receipts that weren't recorded in the bond book. So again, just kind of all documentation related things. We also include some future accounting pronouncements in that report that may be effective for coming years, but just things to keep in mind.
Very good. I want to thank you again. Like I told you a while ago, I was getting a little concerned. I like to be on time, but you made it happen today. And I give a shout out from the board to Angie, of course. She takes this very serious and as all the office holders do. And thank you to all of them and the administrative staff throughout the building and so forth, getting the information to her on time to where we can get it in. And I'm gonna give the board another pat on the back here because yeah, there's some suggestions in there, and there's always, but this is 2 years in a row that we've had no findings. And I wager to say that, I don't know how many counties you guys do yourself, but in talking to other commissioners around the state, that's unheard of, absolutely unheard of. And I think Union County should be very proud of that. I mean, it just has not happened. But again, I want to thank everybody involved and appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Appreciate it. Wonderful news, especially that was there during COVID.
Actually, that's history, you know.
Very good, thank you, sir. Make a motion, we accept the FY 2023 Union County audit as presented.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Bierstadt?
Yes.
I also make a motion, the acceptance of the FY 2023 Union County Circuit Clerk audit as presented.
Second that.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Bierstadt?
Yes.
Very good. Again, I appreciate everybody's effort to make this happen the way we do. Let's keep it up, please. Pretty proud of it, so. We don't have anything for executive session, do we? Other business, anybody?
The taxes were completed on my end, the extensions, last Friday. It's now moved on to Lee's office, and Lee, do you want to take it from there, or?
I have generated, the test bills, so right now I'll have to delete the test bills and then start the process of actually generating the tax bills. Expected once again to be mailed out on June 20th, due date July 25th, September 25th.
That's the same as last year, right?
Correct, that's 5 days difference,
Yeah.
July 20th, September, but yeah.
Will they put a piece in the newspaper telling people that they've been mailed out to expect them?
Up to him, okay.
Well, they haven't been mailed yet.
Okay, so if they don't get them, they need to be.
Not mailed till June 20th.
They got it.
Everybody knows they're due, whether they get them or not, so.
That's true.
Very good. Maybe next year we can cut a couple weeks off of it.
We were waiting on the state this year on the final.
Yeah,
That was
I know, and that's always the case.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah,
appreciate
Liz, I think
that.
you would agree with me, I would commend Tammy, the assessor.
Yeah,
She is probably one of the best of the best.
we were
So it
very,
makes our jobs a lot easier.
yes, we were very, very lucky to have her. She does a great job. So it went very smooth on my end. I know her end too, and I think Lee's looking like everything's going pretty good, so. But no, I think we're kind of getting it down now, so.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Any other business, anyone?
How's your department faring with all the road construction so far?
So far, the interstate's resulted in one accident that required a response. We were able to get directly to the patient, no issues with that. It's just short delays in time. Most of the construction people are really good about getting us through.
Okay, that's
So-
going to be my next
It
question.
doesn't cause us too much delay. They're really good, with their signal net to let us, get through, get to where we need to go.
Good deal. Hope you guys have a great weekend.
Well, Sunday's supposed to be stormy, so we'll see. But it's been EMS week this week, and the community's really reached out for all kinds of food for the staff, and they've been well fed this week.
It was my favorite week.
Did you buy
Good deal.
food for the staff?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Anything else? Everybody have a great 3-day weekend. Again, thank you. Look forward to seeing you this time next year. With the same good news.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Bierstadt?
Yes.